Nashville's a town where you can get caught up in trying to be somebody you're not really fast. Like you'll see somebody pop off with a totally different sound than you're doing. Then you're like, you try to start chasing that, but then that's already gone by the time you start chasing it. So it's like, and even if your sound isn't working now, like never change it because it takes one video, one song of that sound to make something happen for you. My name is David J, and this is SoundAdvice.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. So excited to get to chat with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I know you originally grew up in Rotterdam, New York,
Mhm.
where you taught yourself how to play guitar and sing. Tell me a little more about growing up there and like how music entered the picture.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even really start doing music at a young age. I was big in like sports and stuff. Like
Mhm.
I was a quarterback and like all that stuff. So I never thought music was cool. And then one day I remember I was sitting in my living room. I was watching the Justin Bieber movie, and I was like, all right, that's cool. And so that day I remember I went up in my room and taught myself how to play guitar, and ever since then it kind of went pretty good.
Yeah. What about the documentary like caught your interest?
I think it was just about showing that kind of lifestyle, and I was like, that's different from what all of my friends want to do and stuff. So I was like, let's give it a shot.
So around 2021, you started working on music full time out of Nashville. What did like that first month look like for you?
The first month, I'd say, I mean, I lived about a mile that way, and
Okay.
I lived on bunk beds with my best friend for about 6 months. And I remember I didn't even have a car. I bought a bicycle so I could ride to sessions all around here. So I would get up, hop on my bicycle, and I would just be writing like three, at least 3 times a day, just talking and meeting anybody I could to try to make something happen.
That's so
Yeah.
cool. What advice do you have for other artists that are like moving to pursue their dream?
I would say have a plan. I wouldn't, I mean, you can do the cold turkey thing where you just show up and here I am, but I would say have something or like a plan or somewhat of something in set to where you can navigate of what you want to do. Because I feel like if you come here and you're just like, I'm gonna go play on Broadway and get famous, like I feel like that's not the greatest plan ever. So I would definitely have something going on here and know your way around before you just try to go for it.
Yeah. Being still pretty young at the time when you
Mhm.
moved here, how did you learn to navigate like the business side of the industry?
You know, that's a good question because I wasn't good at that at first. So I definitely tried to learn of like, I'm not saying I became like a lawyer, like learning stuff, but I definitely asked a lot of questions on things that I didn't know. And
Mhm.
I feel like if you're newer or if learn that stuff because people will try to take advantage of you really young. So if you can kind of get a general idea of music, business stuff, it'll definitely help in the long run.
Yeah. Was there anything like when you were asking those first
Mhm.
questions that surprised you?
Um, what surprised me is I didn't know as much as I thought. They're talking about all these different contracts, fees, and I'm like, oh, so I don't just come here and sing and that's it.
So, when you're first putting your music out
Mhm.
and developing your sound and finding your voice, what helped you the most in developing your sound and your artistry?
I'd say Nashville's a town where you can get caught up in trying to be somebody you're not really fast. Like you'll see somebody pop off with a totally different sound than you're doing. Then you're like, you try to start chasing that, but then that's already gone by the time you start chasing it. So it's like, and even if your sound isn't working now, like never change it because it takes one video, one song of that sound to make something happen for you. So I feel like always just kind of be true to what you want to do.
What do you feel like artists that are developing themselves
Mhm.
should like spend more time on?
Writing better songs. I feel like people go crazy on these visuals and they'll spend so much money on like that part of it. But it's like if your song isn't, if you can't sit on a piano and play your song and it's great, like I feel like you could maybe work on that part a little bit more. And
Yeah.
obviously everybody is gonna get better. Like now my songs from a year from now I'm gonna be like, why did I write that back then? So it's like always try to perfect writing the best song you can.
So, you met some pretty major collaborators and mentors coming out
Mm,
here, like Ryan Tedder.
mm.
Tell me a little bit more about your connection with him.
Yeah, so I was probably 18, I think, at this point, and I was actually I was doing The Voice. I might have even been 16, 17 then. Me and my mom were in LA,
Mhm.
and I sent a song to some I didn't even know who it was. They're like, "Oh, send this person songs." I'm like, "All right." So I get a call one night in my hotel room, and we were in like lockdown, so we weren't allowed to leave the
Mm.
hotel. So they're like, "Hey, Ryan wants to come like meet you and stuff." So me and my mom snuck out of this hotel out there, and we went to this like sick house in like the Hollywood Hills. I dressed like I was going to church. I didn't know what to wear. So we got there, and then we just kind of met all that stuff. And then moving forward, I went back out there, I'd say around 2022, and then I was like, "Alright," I played him a couple songs. By the way, very nervous having to sit there and be like, "I hope this is good, please be good." So
Yeah.
then, yeah, he ended up liking him, and then he's been a great mentor, idol, like, we've written songs for myself, for other people, and it's just a cool atmosphere being around him in LA and stuff when we write.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any, like, advice that he's given you or any tips that have, like, changed the way that you write?
Yeah, he's actually given me a lot of tips for, like, songwriting.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like I don't can't air them all out, but there's definitely some where he when he would say it, I'd be like, "Oh, like, that's a good idea."
Yeah.
It's like one that I always think of is I always write the second verse before I write the first verse.
Mm.
So writing out of the chorus how that's gonna sound, to me,
Mhm.
I feel like it's helped a lot with crafting, like, the story, mostly especially in country.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah.
You've also written for some other pretty major artists
Mhm.
like Diplo, Maren
Mhm.
Morris, Walker Hayes. What's like the behind the scenes reality on how some of these sessions happen?
Yeah, I guess get lucky, be in the right place sometimes.
Mhm.
Like this last song I wrote Neo's last single with him,
Mhm.
and the song that he put out, we had a session at 11 a.m. and we wrote a song. It was great, and then everybody left, and he's like, "Yo, you want to do another one after?" So it was just me and him, and then that's the one that came out. So it's like, I feel like being in the right place and just being a good person is gonna get you a lot farther in any room you go to in life than not being nice.
Yeah. How, when you're in those sessions, like how do you approach bringing your own voice and style
Yeah.
to another artist's project?
It's hard because I feel like people, if you do write for another artist, sometimes you can definitely take it to your style and not theirs. But I feel like if you know where they want to go, just kind of like let them kind of guide the sound and kind of fill their mind in with words. It's like don't try to be the guy going there and this is how it should be. Like let them kind of and then just kind of back up what they're doing.
Yeah, gotta find the
Mhm.
blend.
Yeah.
Songwriting is like such a creative process,
Mhm.
but is there something that you think people would be surprised to know is a little more strategic actually?
Songs are math to me. Like I have crippling OCD. So like if I'm in a session, like say for like more, it's more pop songs, but like if you're writing a song and your syllables have to be da 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 da, like you have to. I count every one of them. Like I make sure every. If you're doing like an A B kind of, sorry, I'm getting really nerdy right now, but
No,
like
get
an A
into
B
it.
scheme, like your A should have 10 syllables. If your B's 5, just repeat that. Kind of the same thing. Like if everything mathematically lines up, it's always gonna sound better in my, to me at least, in the pop brain. But that's just kind
Yeah.
of how I have to write songs, or it'll bother me.
Do you feel like there's a song that like follows that equation perfectly?
Every pop song, pretty much.
What's like a piece of advice on the business side of music that you think all aspiring songwriters should know?
I'd say have a good lawyer. I
Okay.
would say that would be a big advice because if you can get into a real bad place really quick, especially if people put money in front of your face and they're like, do this, but then you don't see like they own you the rest of your life. Like I say definitely have a good lawyer in
Mhm.
music for sure.
Yeah, that's so
Mhm.
important. So I know social media has been a huge tool for your
Mhm.
growth. What has that growth trajectory looked like for you?
It was honestly crazy. I was making TikToks in my 2006 Jeep in my parents' driveway, and I just was like, "Oh, I'm gonna just try this," and I was getting like 100,000 followers overnight, and I was just like, "This cannot." I would show up to school and they like would know me. I was never like the coolest in school, but I would show up and teachers would like see me online and stuff, and I was like, "This is crazy." And but then yeah, it was mostly COVID too. I was like just sitting home all day. I'm like, I might as well try to post some videos, and it worked pretty well.
In that like big moment of growth, how did you approach like growing a community
Mhm.
versus just like gaining a number of a following?
Yeah, and I see a lot of people do that. They just will post and they'll get the numbers, and it's like people don't know who you are.
Mhm.
So I feel like I would always try to show my personality or like just who I really am in real life to people. And I feel like they're always going to connect more to that than just if you're posting lip sync videos all day.
Yeah. What's something that you feel like people get wrong about blowing up online?
I feel like they think if you blow up, like that's it, you're famous, you're good to go. But it's like you have to blow up and then you have to continue to keep doing it, or it's like you're gonna blow up and just drop. People drop as quick as they blow up, I'd say. So it's like if you get a moment, like do everything you can to try to at least ride it out or keep going up.
We talked to a lot of other artists about
Mm,
social media and just kind of the challenges of
mm,
having to post and follow trends
yeah.
and balancing that with like just your authentic self and
Mm.
your art. Do you have any advice for people who kind of struggle with finding that balance?
I mean, I'd hate to say it, but like you kind of have to do it. I'd say it's like if you want to be in the music business, like you got to play the game a little bit. Like
Mm,
you know, I'm not saying you have to do all the dance trends and stuff, but like you gotta post your music or that's the only way. Like, I wish I could just put a song out on Spotify and it's like, all right, that's all I gotta do. But I feel like the TikTok and social media just has to happen now where music is at.
yeah. So this year you released 5 singles,
Mm.
including your most recent, What If I'm in Love? What are the biggest things you're considering when you're releasing music right now?
If I don't get sick of a song, I have to, because I write so many songs, so it's like if I can listen to a song for a couple weeks, I'm like, all right, this is the one that I'm gonna pick, and it's like if you have to believe in it or nobody else is gonna like if you're just posting a song you're like oh it's good it's like it could do good but if
Yeah.
you really believe in one those have always been the songs that have done better for me or like a real story behind it those have always translated better I'd say for me.
Yeah. Do you have like a specific memory or story that comes to mind about a song that you've released with that?
Yeah. I wrote this one song called Before You for my at the time girlfriend and I remember I showed her it in the car. I was like, I wrote the song for you. I was always wanted to do this growing up. And then she cried. I was like, all right, this is going to be a good one. And it did. It was. It was probably one of my biggest songs. So
Yeah.
hopefully she doesn't see that.
So I know you called What If I'm in Love your biggest release yet on social media. What makes a release successful to you right now?
I'd hate to be the one to be like, oh, the stream's going to keep going up. But it's
Mhm.
like the ones that when you put out, like you'll see it release day. And then after that, it kind of just like tanks out. But if you can keep one that kind of just rides a little bit, those are usually the ones you can tell like are going to do better.
Yeah. How has your definition of success for what you're releasing
Mm.
changed since you started?
It's tough because back in the day when TikTok was great, like you could post a song, million views, like you're popping. Like
Hmm.
those that's really not the case I'd say anymore for a lot of people. I've heard like artists be like, it's not the same as it used to be, but it's like for me it's like as long as I got people that care and they're listening and they like it, like what else can you really want? So it's like I'm happy with if anybody loves it, then I love it.
Looking at the industry now,
Mm.
what do you think are some of the biggest barriers for aspiring artists entering today?
I'd say money, honestly, like it's music is expensive. You got to pay say like you got to get your song produced, you got to get it mixed, you got to get it mastered, you got to if you can't shoot your own TikToks, you got to get a video guy, music video like it is I'd say it's just the money barrier. It's like it's expensive. That's why like I learned everything I could to do it myself at least. Like so I'll produce a lot of mine. I got really good and nerdy at camera skills, so it's like I shoot all my content and I say get good at everything you can do before you can pay people to do it. So like but things that matter. Like if you're gonna sit there and try to mix, like you're gonna drive yourself crazy. But at least the harder things that cost a lot of money, like producing or like the videos, like just try to learn as much as you can to do for yourself.
What have been like your best resources for teaching yourself?
YouTube and Chat GPT. I could solve the world, I think, on Chat GPT.
So our final
Mm.
question is, what is the best advice that you've received?
The best advice is kind of stupid, but it's always just be nice to people and work hard. And I've done that. I used to have a sign that sat above my bed that said that. It's in my closet now. I took it down eventually, but yeah, work hard and be nice to people. It's like It's really all you can do.